Good morning, it's Neil Frankel with wealthpilgrim.com. Welcome to the November installment of Naked with Cash, brought to you by Consumerism Commentary. I'm Neil Frankel with wealthpilgrim.com, and we've got Jake and Allie with us, who have been with us the entire year. Jake and Allie, thank you very much for being our pilgrim guinea pig, so to speak. And we're sort of rounding the corner. We're in the holidays here. And I want to talk today about when to update your financial plan, and also, very important, when not to worry about updating your financial plan. Are you guys up for that?
We are.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you. So I know that you've done a financial plan. We did it together, and you learned a couple of important things. And did you make any changes in your financial lives as a result of that, or come to some decisions about your financial future and or present as a result of doing that work together?
We have invested more. We had a lot of money sitting in cash, and we have since invested a good bit more of that into the stock market than we had before.
Okay. And why? What? How did the plan inform that decision?
I think the biggest thing was that I was worried about when I retired and what I was supposed to be doing. And as you pointed out in one of the other things, it's not actually the day I retire. That's the money still continues to work, and that made me think, well, okay, even the money I'm investing right now is still going to be out there for 15, 20, 25 years. Working, and that was the biggest thing that I had not realized. So
yeah, that's awesome. Well, not only did you realize it, but you took action on it. Both of you took action, which is awesome. Was there anything else that was a big wake-up call or change of direction, or anything else change at all for you that comes to mind?
Well, we also realized that possibly both of us working for ourselves is not going to be the best solution. Her possible plan down the road doesn't involve near the capital investment that what I was interested in doing was going to require, and therefore I think we kind of put that on a different route. It may be something that we still look at, but it's not nearly the driving force that it was.
Right. So it sounds like the financial plan helps you clarify what your priorities are. Because when we first met, one of the things you told me was that having your own business with the animal boarding house was really important.
Right.
And then what really came out was what was super important, the most important, although that's not unimportant, but the most important thing for you guys was to have the freedom and the ability to retire and not worry about your money.
Correct.
And that's priority number one, really. And I think the financial plan showed it, because it showed what happens if you open up if you don't do that business, or if you do the business, and how that might impact your future.
Exactly.
Okay, so in your opinion, we've done this financial plan together. When do you think we should redo it?
Well, I think it depends on a couple of things. If there are no major, then if there's a life-changing event like a job or house purchase or a child, not in our situation, but in other people's situations, those are the kind of events that soon afterwards you want to take a look.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The idea is, when some advisors suggest that you redo your plan every year, and some people do need that because there's lots of moving wheels, or there's a lot of money involved, and slight changes can really have a huge impact. Especially the younger you are, the slighter the change, the greater impact, because you have more time to compound the effects of that change. However, In your case, I totally agree. Your income is stable, your savings are stable, the investments may change, but your objectives are not going to change. It sounds like you guys have talked it over and thought it through and built your lives around these upcoming life events. Maybe what I would suggest to you is once one of you or both of you do retire, you might want to do another plan. Now, what's really important, no matter who you are, no matter where you are in stage of your life, you always want to keep track of what you really spend. Not necessarily every nickel and dime. There's a lot of different ways to do it. On my website, you can, on wealthpilgrim.com, you can look for a free way to look at your spending in 5 minutes a month, or you can use a software package, or you can use Excel. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you know how much you really, really know, not think you know, but really know what it costs you to live completely, because then as these other things change that are beyond your control, you can see how your cost of living is, let's say, either impacts those options or, you know, or opens up doors or closes certain doors, right? If you have a standard of living that requires $20,000 a month in income, and you don't have and you have investments that generate $2,000 a month, but work that generates $18,000 a month, if you're not willing to change your standard of living, then you're not going to retire, right?
Correct.
So this is why even some people think that when they retire, they don't need to watch their spending, but it's actually more important. You guys are coming up into a big change in your life. So it's super important to continue watching that cost of living, what you actually spend. I'm not worried about it that you guys will do that. You guys are great at that. You want to continue doing that, and then when you do retire, you probably do want to, if there's a big change or something that the actuals are very different from your expected, then you may want to do your financial plan. It doesn't hurt. It's worth it. Whenever there's a big life event like a retirement, selling a business, selling a house, moving, any kind of big event, other than that, maybe every 5 years, every 10 years, just because your cost of living has, will change with inflation. You'll get older, so that'll change your cost of living. Your investments will have had time to either grow and really do well, or maybe not so much, and that will shift your projections as well. So I'd say life event, or every 5 years, it's probably worth it to redo. Would you agree with that? Does that make sense?
It does. That's what we would think too.
Right. So the financial plan is something, it's amazing to me that more people don't do it and don't take advantage of doing it. Why do you think, we went through it together, you went through it together before we even met with somebody else. Don't mention any names, please. Why do you think more people don't take advantage of that?
From the people that we work with daily, I don't think a lot of people think too far down the road. I'm thankful that, that Jake does.
I think that a lot of people are scared. That they're afraid and they just bury their head in the sands.
Well, that's a good strategy. That helps a lot, doesn't it? That really changes things for the better.
Well,
yeah.
I do that a lot, though.
We've talked to people at work and other friends, and I'll do it later. I don't have time.
Yeah. Well, the fascinating thing is that the sooner you do it, the better. And I've found quite often that very small changes can really have a huge impact. In order for you to get your money invested differently, it was basically a phone call, right?
Correct.
And my belief is that over time, that one phone call and that change in mindset which didn't require any work. You didn't have to go out and do any gardening. You didn't have to shovel snow or anything else. It was a 5-minute, maybe a half-an-hour conversation, a 2-minute phone call. I believe it'll have a significant impact on your future. Do you agree with that, or?
Oh yeah, yep. I wish that I could go back now to when I first got out of college, and I wish I'd have done a few things different, because it would have made a big difference now.
Don't we all? Don't we all? Yeah. Okay, so the bottom line for today is the financial plan is it's the source. It is the, and tell me if you agree with me or you don't, but I see it as the filter through which all financial decisions are made. It helps you determine if your future plans are realistic or worth the risk. It helps you decide what to do today to have the best possible outcome. It doesn't guarantee a future outcome, but it tells you, it informs you as to what the best steps are to make today to have the best possible outcome, or the best odds of having the best outcome. And it's a pretty simple process to go through, pretty painless, which has a lot of bang for the buck, because it's like either one person getting in an airplane and having a pilot who has blinders on and no maps, versus another getting on a different plane where the pilot has complete vision, night vision, maps, radar. That's how I see it.
I agree. I think the other thing that you didn't mention that it really does for us is it makes us sit down and think about things that we just kind of, I won't say half-heartedly, but just kind of, we thought this is what we wanted, but we never really sat down and looked at it in a way that was realistic, yeah.
Okay. Well, I really want to congratulate you, because you did go through the effort, you went through it, and most important, you implemented. So those are the key ingredients: to learn, ask questions. You don't accept everything that comes your way, but you ask good questions. You filter through, does it make sense, does it not? If it doesn't, why doesn't it? Ask a lot of questions. When it does make sense, you execute, you do it, and that's going to give you a lot of freedom going forward. So I really want to congratulate you. Unfortunately, not everybody's like that, and I just feel really lucky to have worked with you over this year. So I want to thank you for that.
We thank you, and we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, we feel the same way. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll meet next month, and we'll wrap it all up, and we'll see where we are and where we're going from here.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure. See you next month.
For more great ideas on how to have no money worries no matter what, come on over to wealthpilgrim.com, sign up for your free weekly updates, and get a free e-course on how to make better investments.